All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 6 of the Graceland Wool podcast, formerly known, anyways, as the Graceland Wool podcast. I have decided this past couple weeks to rename my podcast, and I'm going with Hello Grace. I'm really excited about this change. I love the idea of keeping the podcast and Graceland Wool just a little bit separate. I think it's beneficial to all those watching as well as me, I guess, to kind of keep them a little bit separate. So, anyways, my name is Sarah Stevens. You can find me as Sarah Stevens on Ravelry and Sarah Stevens 11 on Instagram. You can also find me as Graceland Wool at gracelandwool.com or on Instagram as well. Although I'm contemplating merging those two accounts. So I'd love to know your feedback on that. Do you prefer to have a site where you only go and see my yarn and shop updates and things like that, nothing personal? And then to have my personal account too. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I think it would be a little bit easier to only have the one, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. As you can tell, I'm in a new location. I have a little bit more light in this area of my house, and it's by my fireplace, and truthfully, I'm looking straight ahead at my Christmas tree, which is awesome. I love having it up. It's kind of one of my favorite times of the year. And so I am super excited to be able to look at that. I have my fireplace next to me, and while it's not going right now, when it is going, it's super warm. It's awesome. It's one of those old stovepipe type of fireplaces. So we'll see how this goes. You can kind of see my kiddos in the background. So those pictures kind of hang out there all year round. Some of my family pictures. And so, anywho, I'm rambling. Completely rambling. This is what happens when I take a little bit of a podcation. This is what happens. I took a week-long podcation because elections were happening, and I really just wanted to take that week off, and really didn't want to push my feelings on you at that time, and I felt like maybe if I did podcast, I probably would. So I wanted to not do that. So I took off a week, and then unfortunately I had to take another week because my dear grandfather passed away. It wasn't unexpected. We had been anticipating it for quite some time, but it never makes it any easier. He was an amazing man, and he will always be very close to my heart. Always. But on Tuesday, he, or on Sunday, I'm sorry, on Sunday, he left and went to go be with my grandmother and his best friend, and so it's been a trying week. It's been hard in some ways. Thanksgiving was not the same. It was not the same at all. But I am grateful and thankful for the family that I am surrounded by, and all of you guys. All of you guys. So a little bit about my grandpa, because I feel like it's necessary. I think he's a huge part of why I'm here and doing what I'm doing. His name was Jack, And he married my grandmother, who already had 3 children, and he treated them like his own, and they were his own. They were his. He was no different, and he didn't treat them any differently. And he was one of the strongest men I've ever met, and kindest and most gentle. And he would have given his shirt off of his back to anyone, stranger. Just that was him. And anyways, I don't know if some of you remember me from starting O Loops, but he was actually the one who allowed O Loops to happen. Like, he helped start that. He was the one who gave us a small loan to get O Loops going and up and running, and he was my inspiration for wanting to start O Loops. So I am beyond thrilled that he did that for me and for Lydia at that time, because it allowed us to do so much over the next 5 years together with that business. And so he will forever live on in that. And starting Graceland Wool, he got to be a part of that as well. And so I think that's huge. So anyways, I am happy to be sitting here. Thank you for those who are coming back again after a little bit of a podcation that I've had. And thank you to new viewers. If you are checking me out for the very first time, this is a little bit crazy of an intro. I normally don't start out this way. But thank you for hanging out with me anyways. And I am drinking some tea out of this sweet teacup. My middle kiddo had her birthday 3 weeks ago, and for her birthday this year she wanted to do a magical tea party theme. And so we traveled to a bunch of different thrift stores and picked up teacups and saucers that are mismatched, and that is how we decorated, and all of the little girls got to use those cups and saucers, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. So I'm drinking a Sweet Chai of Mine by Good Earth, and that's one of my favorite tea brands is Good Earth tea. Today my little message is from T.S. Eliot. It said, "Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far they can go." One of my favorite things about Good Earth tea is, let me show you if you can see this little, you can see this tiny little tag is on the edge of these little tags. It gives little quotes, and I adore reading these quotes. I have a box of tea always at my desk at work, and it's one of my favorite things. It's the little things. Today I am drinking my tea with a little bit of milk because it is a chai tea. I prefer, actually, my chai teas to have a little bit of cream or milk, and while the rest of them I usually don't add anything. Sometimes it might be a little honey, but that's about it. So we'll refill really quick in my, it's my David's tea tin. It's like a travel thermos. It's really cool. It has these little inserts that you can put in there. I really adore that mug. I take that to work every single day. Every single day. It also has these little, like in the lid, it has this little part that opens up and lets you put some loose leaf tea or whatever in the lid, so you have some for later too. It's cool. So anyways, all right, let's get on with the knitting. This is primarily a knitting and fiber related podcast. Sometimes it has, sometimes I show a little spinning. Mostly it's knitting, and obviously yarn that I've dyed. I'll save that till the end. Today, with this episode, there's going to be finished objects, works in progress. I have a little bit of blanket madness. I do have some, a little bit of things that came in the mail, some mailbox madness or stash enhancement, however you want to call it. And I have a couple purchases that I made from my local yarn store as well. And some Christmas gifts that I've completed. And in addition to that, we have some knit-alongs going on. So I want to talk about that. And then the shop update that went up this weekend. So tons to talk about. I'm going to try not to keep this too terribly long. So, all right. First of all, I finished another pair of socks. Let's see. Did I bring them? I did bring them. Okay. I finished a pair of socks. So, I don't know if you guys saw the socks that I was working on. This is a pair of knitted wit, or a skein of knitted wit in the Witch's Brew colorway socks that I had finished, and I was working on these. And do you see this yarn band tag on here? It says hand knit with love, and then on the back it has a section for care instructions. Amber, Yarn Hoarder, sent a package to me a while ago, and in that package she had these sweet labels for your socks. I am so excited about these. I love these labels. These are going to be Christmas gifts this year. So I have that pair done. I have this pair done. This pair is, let's see, these are knit. I knit these ones cuffed down on my 2.0 millimeter Knitter's Pride Carbons DPNs. It was knit cuffed down and, it was knit toe up. And I did do a traditional afterthought heel. I did cut the yarn for that. It is one of my favorite afterthought heel ways, I guess, to knit socks. And I use Kirby Werby's video tutorial on cutting in heels for afterthought heels. Cherie does such an amazing job of explaining it, and you can pause it or fast forward as many times as you like. She's amazing, and she's very clear. So if you've wanted to try an afterthought heel, I highly recommend doing Cherie's video. Okay, and I can't remember if these were done. I'm pretty sure they were done, but I wanted to show them one more time. These are the Arnie and Carlos Regia socks that I have done, because these are also going to be a Christmas gift. So that is 3 completed pairs of socks for Christmas this year. I'm super excited to have them done and off my needles and mildly blocked. Ends are completely woven in. They have their little tags on, and they're ready for some care instructions. So I feel like that's just a huge win. Huge, huge win. Okay, so then the next thing that I have done is this pair of socks. Now I haven't woven in the ends yet. These I knit using Knitted Wits Sassy Santa colorway, and love I love these socks. I made them a little bit shorter of a leg than what I typically do. I knit them cuff down with a dropped heel, and I did do a rounded toe again. As you can see, I have not woven in my ends yet. They're still dangling. But that'll get done this week because this is also going to be a Christmas present. So I'm really happy that these are done and off my needles. I knit these actually because this is a little bit heavier of a fingering weight yarn. I knit them using my Knitter's Pride Carbons ones. They are, I think, 2.25 millimeter needles. So those are done and off the needles, and that is just super exciting for me. So that'll be 4 pairs. 4 pairs of socks for Christmas. And I have people that those are going to that I think will really love them. So that's really exciting. Okay, so let's talk about whips. I went through a lot of I have a big basket, and it keeps all of my works in progress in there. And I went through it, and I started pulling out some bags of future works in progress that I really want to start working on again. Anyways, I wanted to show them to you, mostly so you guys could help keep me in line. So, as you know, I have this pair of socks that I started on my Glitz base in the Pixie Dust colorway, and all I need is the rest of the foot and a toe. It's ridiculous that I haven't finished this yet. This is the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern. I believe that's by Erica Luder, and I don't know what it is about that pattern. Oh, my hair is it's sticking up. I don't know what it is about that pattern, but it really takes me a really long time to get through. All it is knits with an occasional purl. It really is not difficult. It's rather ridiculous that it's taking this long. So I have that to get done. Okay, the next thing that I have to get done is I started forever ago another pair of socks. Truthfully, I don't even know what pattern this is. It's my dog. So I'm sorry if you hear that. And she's drinking out of her water bowl, and she is outrageously loud. Stella, quit. Okay, so I am knitting it out of this skein of yarn. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to knit these pairs of socks. I think I might rip this out and find a different sock pattern. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Totally thinking about it. I just haven't done it yet. So, okay, there's that. I have a sock design in there too that I'm working on. So then the other pair of socks that I have that I've been working on, as you guys know, is sock number 2 of my chicken boot socks. I don't know why this is still on the needles. I picked this up and I was working on it a couple weeks ago, but then I think life just happened and I put it back in this bag and I forgot about it, truthfully. Amber, Yarn Hoarder Amber, she always has, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. Forget what I just said. She has this basket that she folds up and keeps all of her sock whips in. I got to see that basket on one of her last couple podcasts. And I love that idea because you kind of get inspired to knit on a different one at any different time, but they're always there. So it makes it really, really nice. Come over here, Stella. It makes it really nice because you'll always be able to pick it up and knit on it whenever you get a chance. I'm sorry. I have to pause for a second, and I don't think that my video actually pauses. So if I don't edit this out, it's just because I didn't get a chance to, but pardon me for just a moment. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm hoping that I edit that out, but we'll see. We'll see if that works. Anywho, I don't know exactly why I haven't thought about using a basket for my socks and keeping them in there, but I think it's a rather genius idea. I think it's incredibly genius because you could always just keep it right by your end, on your end table or your coffee table, and just kind of pick it up and knit on it throughout the day. And I don't know. So anyways, long story short, I am on the lookout now for a really awesome bowl that I can stick all of my knitted stuff in, or my works in progress anyways, as far as socks. So, okay, there's that one. And that's not all of them. I still have another one. So as I was digging through this huge basket of project bags, I also came across this old sock blank that I dyed for O Loops in the it was like the Haunted Hogwarts colorway, with a sock that it only had the leg done at that time, but since then I have dropped the heel and turned it, and I'm now working on the foot. And this has kind of been the one that I've been working on all day. So I'm really excited to get all of these socks on off of the needles. I think it's going to happen. I'm hoping it'll happen before the end of the year, at least. That would be fantastic. Okay, so aside from socks, I did start a new hat. This hat is called, let me pull it up here, Palm, and it's by Agatha Smiktala. I'm sorry, Agatha, I think I just butchered your name, but it's beautiful so far. It's just super fun and cable-y. I am using Madeline Tosh Vintage in the Moonstone colorway, and I won't show you my price tag, but I picked this up at my local yarn store. I had popped in there because I needed some needles, which I guess we can go ahead and jump on into acquisitions before I finish the rest of my whips, because it all kind of falls together. And as I was waiting for them to pull my needles, my soon-to-be my needles, out of the back, I kind of stumbled upon a couple skeins of yarn. So I did get this Moonstone skein. It's like this grayish purple. It's amazing. So I got that. And then I also picked up another skein, but this one is of Tosh DK, and in the Dust Weaver colorway. I don't know if my camera is going to pick up all of these subtle colors that happen in this skein of yarn, but there are grays and sands and light peaches and ballet pinks and taupes. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I think this is also going to become a hat, just as another hat that we can use all of the time. Either the girls or myself or all of us. Either way, I think that's going to be my game plan. So I also picked up a set of needles. I've been talking to you guys about using the Knitter's Pride, there we go, carbons. And I just have single sets of the zeros, and there have been a couple times that I've needed another size because I'm using sport weight or maybe just a thicker, heavier fingering weight yarn. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to get myself a set. So I now have a set. I'm the proud owner of a set of Knitter's Pride Carbons DPNs. It's the sock set. It does have this really awesome little case. It opens up. I love it. Really, really love it. Okay, so that I picked up all at my local yarn store in order to start this whip, I guess, is a lot what that says. Long story short. Okay, so then, because it has been a rough 2 weeks, even though it feels like I did get a lot of knitting done, I really worked a lot on my blankets. I love how nice it is to work on my blankets when I've had a rough day or when I'm maybe might be stressed out, because it's so relaxing. I can start working on it and watch a movie and get a few rows done, and I don't have to think about it. It's kind of like vanilla socks are for me. So the last time I talked to you guys, I had just started this blanket, and I think I only had like the purple on the bottom here done. And so I have gotten, this is the one that I'm just doing the granny square stripes, and I'm just going down and back unless I run out before then. But I've got, it keeps going and going and going. I'm so excited about this one. This is the width of my king size bed, so it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be perfect to wrap up and snuggle up in. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this one for myself or if this is just gonna, maybe it'll go to my dad at some point. I don't know yet. I put in so many fun scraps in this one from Amber of Yarn Hoarder. Oops. I feel like it's the Amber show. So I put in a bunch of scraps from her. I honestly think maybe there's 7 different mini skeins in here that she had sent me. So I'm super excited about this. I don't know. That's the part where I don't know if I can give it away. We'll see. Okay, so then if that wasn't enough, I did also get a little bit of work done. Let me get this out of the way. I did work a little bit on my other blanket, and it has grown quite a bit. Here we go. Here we go. It has grown so much. I think I was right around this pink area, or maybe before that. No, I think I was down here last time, and I made it all the way around again a few times. And this one is super special. This one is definitely more me. It is, it has the lighter colors. It's a little more neutral. So I'm really excited about this one. Currently I'm putting in the very last bits of my hedgehog fibers, the Monarch colorway. and putting this in. And I don't know. I think I'm going to be able to get 2 rounds in and then stop and then be able to get enough to do almost another round at some other point. So I've been really busy working on that and I love it. I really, really love it. I can't wait to put my next color in. I've already picked it out. It's this really dusty purple alpaca that I dyed for O-Loops a long time ago, so I can't wait to put this little bit in. I think it's just going to go perfectly in my blanket. So I got those done, which is quite a bit. Okay, so last bit of Mailbox Madness. I'm really trying my best, you guys, to keep this as close to 45 minutes as possible. There's so much to talk about. So I did get a little bit of fun mail in my mailbox. I purchased a skein of yarn ink. This is the taffy colorway. On her, I just love her logo. It's awesome. Taffy colorway. It's on her classic soft base. It is 463 yards, 100 grams of yarn. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it is just awesome. Let's see. You can see all of those taffy, saltwater taffy colors that are peeking through here. I cannot wait to knit with this. It is going to be a pair of socks for sure. I already picked out what pair of socks I'm going to knit. While I don't remember the name, I was watching Kristen of Bullenvine Yarns and the Yarngasm podcast, and she showed a pair of socks that are super cute and lacy, and I just think this is going to be amazing on those. So I'm going to knit that. And I'm trying my best to wait to cast this on until later, but there's a huge possibility that it might happen before the other socks are all done. So we'll see. Ah, it's just amazing. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so that's it. That is what I've been working on, which I feel like is a ton. It's also some of my amazing acquisitions that I cannot wait to use. I did order a David's Tea 25 Days of Christmas tea set. Advent calendar. There we are. I had to think about that. So I'm hoping that comes soon. I keep seeing everybody else's already showing up, and I cannot wait to get mine. I'm anxiously anticipating it. So that should be coming in my mail soon. And it's going to be really hard to wait until December 1st, but I'm going to do it. Oh, well, this is if it gets here before December 1st. They have amazingly, incredible fast shipping. But it is coming from Canada, so I don't know. I'm hoping it gets here in time. So I'm so excited by that. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you what I was wearing. I am wearing a shawl. I don't know if you can see that. And it's so warm and cozy, and it's so pretty. This shawl was designed by Lydia. And I dyed both of these skeins up. And I think because the colorways kind of follow the dyer, I think I'm going to dye these up as well and put these in the shop pretty soon. This is the Bloom colorway. And then this beautiful sandy. Sahara Desert kind of color. I am in love with this shawl. I love the color combination that I chose. I wear it all of the time. I knit it on my 80/20 base, basically, and I could not be happier with this project. So that is what I'm wearing. All right. So on to shop update and knit along news. So we'll do knit along news first, just in case you don't want to see what's going in the shop. So, all right, October's knit along is over. November socks are up there, and there are just a couple more days left for you to be eligible to enter for that knit along. You know, in October, I gave everybody a couple extra days to get some socks in there, mostly because I was super busy, and it was Halloween and everything. But you're gonna want to get your socks posted. I am dyeing a special one-of-a-kind skein of yarn for that update. Not update, for that prize winner. And then in addition to that, there in November this month, we are having the hat to keep your head warm cowl as well. So that one will also have a one-of-a-kind skein of yarn on a little bit heavier weight. I am waiting, anticipating it to be here soon. Hopefully. No, it will. So that shipment should be here by next week. So I'm really excited about that. And I will be able to get that dyed up and sent out or ready for you anyways. And so the only rules to those is that you need to be a member of the group on Ravelry, and you just had to finish it in November. Finish those socks, finish those hats, get them off the needles. Hopefully you're able to finish some Christmas presents or maybe knit something for yourself. So those are the only ones that are going or ending anyways. The last one is something to keep your neck warm. I'm working on a shawl that I haven't touched since October. So I'm really hoping I get a chance to get some time to really focus on that shawl, because I really would like to finish that in time. But that is not due until the end of December, so there's a little bit of time left. All right, so shop update. I went ahead and put up an update in the shop. It contained some pre-order things, some past colorways that I think I'm going to call them, it'll be considered a classic. I'm picking and choosing certain colors that will always be available in the shop pretty consistently, and those ones are going to be called the Graceland Classics. And so there are 2 colorways up for pre-order right now in that, and basically I guess they're, you know, I put a small quantity so I can dye them all in the same batch, and we'll see how it goes. But I also put up a few new skeins, and some of them were inspired by my grandpa, and some of them I really was moved to do these ones. I don't know, I love playing in the dye pots. So this particular colorway is called Olivia. I think this is going to be a classic colorway for Graceland wool. I'm really excited about it. It is these beautiful pinks and golden yellows and blacks and charcoals and some purples, and I think it's just stunning. I cannot wait to knit with it. The other colorway that I believe I'm going to that will become a Graceland classic is the Jackson colorway that I dyed. This one I dyed up after my grandpa. His name was Jack Davis, and my family all called him Jackson. and it's this gorgeous like fog blue color and some browns and olives and rusts. I really love that colorway. The next colorway that is up in the shop is Davis. Davis is kind of more of a summery, sandy kind of color. It has some really pretty blues and greens and yellows in it as well, but it's way more subtle. It's also after my grandpa. Like I said, his name was Jack Davis. So I wanted something to represent his softer side as well, which that one I felt did. The next one is this beautiful purple skein of yarn. This colorway my middle kiddo came up with, and so I named it Kate. I felt like this screams her. It's like the sophisticated version of her. She is a quiet soul, but it's just these amazing purples and blues, and she was very adamant about exactly what went on it. So she got to help me dye these skeins of yarn. So that is very special, and this will be a classic, a Graceland classic as well. And then the last colorway, I named it Tomorrow, and it kind of represents that, you know, one day, like tomorrow is always going to be a different day, but you never know what tomorrow holds. And so it's this, it really reminds me of a cross between a sunrise and a sunset. It has some mauves and golds and beiges and peaches and pinks and some browns and charcoals, and there's quite a bit happening in this skein of yarn, but I really adore it. I think it's very feminine and girly, and it really just reminds me that you never know what tomorrow's going to hold. So anyways, that's it, guys. That is all I've been doing, all I've been working on. I really hope that you enjoyed this podcast, and I sure enjoyed and missed spending time with you the last couple weeks, and I look forward to becoming more regular once again as far as podcasting goes. So if you have not had a chance to pop on over to the Ravelry group and check out those threads for the knit along, I highly encourage you to do so. They are fun and beautiful as always. I have a bunch of threads open for questions and answers, and oh, there's a question up. That's right. I did have a question. Somebody asked what tea I was drinking in one of the first podcasts, and it is Good Earth Sweet and Spicy is the tea that I was drinking in that podcast episode. So you can find it caffeine free or with caffeine. I find it at my local Fred Meyer, so I'm sure that you can find it elsewhere. I know I've seen it at Target too. It's one of my go-to favorite teas. So anyways, I guess I will let you all go, but from my house to yours, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you are enjoying yourself and spending some good quality time with friends and family and other loved ones, and some knitting or crocheting. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye now.